Well, hello guys. It's been a while, huh? So today I actually have a bit of pretty cool Saints Row news. I'd say pretty cool. It's actually kind of terrible, but it's got some pretty bad implications. But I think if you've kind of been following Saints Row to its cold, bitter end, it's worth knowing, as it's a pretty notable update, to be honest. So this big news actually comes from the in-game boss factory of the latest Saints Row, one of the weirder places I thought I'd be starting my conversations today. If you currently now go to the community feature, it says, server connection failed, please try again later. Now, this is pretty weird because, let's just be honest, the boss factory's been around for a considerable amount of time at this point. I mean, it was here before the game even came out. Why would the servers not be up? Well, it's actually because the contract has expired for the servers, meaning the boss factory, share factory, whatever it's called, it's no more. Yep, guys, you heard that correct there. Saints Row's sharing of bosses is kinda dead. Which really sucks for the most part, because it sounds dumb, but customization is still this game's best feature in my opinion, and sharing bosses was legitimately quite cool. This news is a little shocking, as you can tell. I'm a bit kind of mind-blown that this would happen. Say what you want about games when they die, usually the servers stay up for quite a long time. I mean, hell, Saints Row 1 and 2 servers are still kind of working, apart from GameSpy, which, died. But hell, I can go play a match of multiplayer Saints Row 2 right now. So for this game's boss factory servers to be down just a couple of years after its release, it's kind of weird and sad, really. But aside from that, it's not really a big deal, let's be honest. So why bother telling you? Well, it's actually because, this sounds horrible, but I think it's quite indicative of the future for Saints Row. If they can't even be bothered to keeping the servers open for the latest game in the series, I think we're going to see a lot more server closures to follow, to be honest. Now, I don't know about the older Saints Row games, but I mean, again, just to throw this out there, what are the chances of us getting a Saints Row 2 patch if they can't even get a team together to keep the servers open? It's kind of sad. The excuse for this is because Volition shut down, which I suppose, as far as excuses go for not keeping servers up, it's a pretty good one. I kind of get it. The game's company died. I mean, hell, they've got a playtest on servers for the Saints Row 2 patch. Do you really think this patch is ever coming, guys? Sadly, I just don't. And I think that this is really, for most people, it should be the indication this is the final nail in the coffin for Saints Row, at least for a considerable amount of time. Maybe it's one of those things where it's like, Saints Row will always live on in our hearts, and as long as we never stop talking about it, Saints Row never truly dies. I suppose that would kind of work. Maybe that's what we should all be doing right now, guys. And I suppose to a certain degree, it is kind of true. Saints Row has been dead long before. I mean, after Saints Row 4 came out and got out of hell, we were under the impression that Saints Row was no more, and, the series was done and concluded. So, yes, Saints Row is definitely extra dead now, but realistically, we're not exactly super far back from where we started when Saints Row 4 released and Get Out of Hell released and stuff, so don't panic too much. The community will survive in its own certain formats and channels, and as long as we kind of commemorate these great games and the amazing team behind it, then we can always live on and think about how great Saints Row was, and Saints Row never truly dies. I know that this is sort of like a overly positive message, but I think it's true to a certain degree. I feel like the community has always been super strong with Saints Row, and like, it kind of dies and lives with us more than anything. But I do think it's kind of sad that they shut down the boss factory servers, because again, I think it's just the final nail in the coffin for Saints Row, which honestly is really, really, really sad. But also what this shows us is that clearly they have no team working on Saints Row. I mean, it says right there, there's no team able to keep the servers up, which to me screams that they quite literally haven't got a dev team even thinking about Saints Row right now. So if you guys are expecting any sort of announcements anytime soon, I don't think so, guys. I think it's well and truly over. But what's the best possible outcome, eh? What's the best possible outcome we as Saints Row fans can get? I think it's a good question to start asking, and I guess the best possible outcome for me is that Deep Silver maybe sells the IP. This isn't a case of like, oh god, I hate Deep Silver having Saints Row, time to get angry. It's actually just a case of, if they don't want to do anything with it, I'd rather a team have it that does want to do something with Saints Row. I think when Volition closed, I was very much like, I will never play a Saints Row game by any company that's not Volition. I love Volition so much. Please don't go. Come back. Where's the milk, Dad? That whole sort of thing. And to a certain degree, I kind of stand by it. I don't think Saints Row will ever be the same without Volition. But I would much rather Saints Row live on in some format and kind of us all still have something to talk about and have good times with. Because even if it's made by a different team and it has a different feel to it, I don't want Saints Row to die, especially on such a low note. To me, I just don't think that's what Saints Row deserves. I love this series too much to see that happen. So, to Deep Silver, I hope you find a new team or you sell the IP. I think it's safe to say Deep Silver's involvement with the IP hasn't been completely beneficial. But at the end of the day, I want you to keep it alive. Even if you guys keep the IP and, you know, you just start making games again, I don't care. I want you to keep it alive because this IP means a lot to me. And I'd be pretty sad if Saints Row just died here. You know, with just such little respect and, you know, all that sort of stuff. I truly will say I hope that this is not the end of Saints Row, and I don't think it will be. I think it's the end of Saints Row as we know it, and it will be the end of Saints Row for a considerable length of time. But I think that one day Saints Row will re-emerge, and we'll be able to have fun on these great games once again. So that's basically all I really have to tell you today, that the servers have shut down and it doesn't really bode well for Saints Row's immediate future. And that's the important thing to remember. I'm just talking immediate future here, guys. You know, who knows, in 5 years we may be playing a new Saints Row game. I don't think it's likely, but you know, you kind of have to be aware of these things. And if any team does pick up Saints Row, I hope they treat it with the love and care Volition tried to, shall we say. So, for the back end of this video here, I'm going to spend just a minute talking about what I plan to do with Saints Row, as I know I'm kind of in a bit of a weird spot currently. I've decided I definitely do still want to make videos on the game and cover it. A while ago I said that, like, this is it, my last video on Saints Row, I'm out. That was a couple months ago now, and I've kind of had a bit of a rain check, so to speak. Unless you include that weird Easter egg video I made, then deleted, because it wasn't very good, but shh, no one has to know. I think my plan is to basically cover the games as I've always covered them, find stuff to talk about with these games, keep the ball moving. I want to keep talking about these games I love so much, goddammit. And I hope you guys stick around and talk about them with me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next Saints Row video. It'll be a fun one, I promise. A bit more positive than this one. And who knows, man. The future, it could be awesome for Saints Row. We just have to wait and see. I would just say, you know, set your expectations reasonably. And I wouldn't expect anything in the immediate future, guys. Alright, thanks for watching, people. See you soon.